Albert Einstein is undoubtedly one of the most well-known names in the history of science. When we think of a genius, it's almost inevitable that his image comes to mind. Disheveled hair, intense gaze, and a mind that revolutionized the way we understand the universe. But who was Albert Einstein really? How did this man live, the one who changed the course of physics and became an icon of human intelligence? Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in the city of Ulm, in the then German Empire. His parents were Hermann Einstein and Pauline Koch. Interestingly, Albert was not a traditional child prodigy. In fact, he took a little longer than usual to start speaking, which worried his parents in his early years. This ended up giving rise to the myth that he had learning difficulties, which was not true. He was introspective and curious, yes, but extremely observant and intelligent from an early age. At the age of 5, he received a compass as a gift from his father. This seemingly simple object sparked a deep fascination in him. How could the needle always point in the same direction? This question echoed in his mind for years, and many scholars consider this moment to be the beginning of Einstein's scientific curiosity. During his youth, he studied at several institutions, including the famous Polytechnic Institute of Zurich in Switzerland, where he graduated in 1900. Interestingly, after graduation, he struggled to find a job as a university professor. As a result, he began working as a clerk at the patent office in Bern, where he evaluated inventions submitted for registration. It was during this period of routine work that Einstein had what is called his annus mirabilis, or miracle year. In 1905, he published 4 scientific papers in a physics journal that would change the history of science. One dealt with the photoelectric effect, another with Brownian motion, a third with mass energy equivalence, with the famous equation E, mc2, and the most revolutionary, the theory of special relativity. He was only 26 years old at the time. The theory of special relativity challenged ideas established since Newton and proposed that time and space were not absolute as previously believed. This theory marked the beginning of a revolution in modern physics. Later, in 1915, Einstein presented the general theory of relativity, which expanded on those concepts and described gravity not as a force, but as the curvature of space-time caused by the presence of mass and energy. One of the predictions of this theory, the bending of light by stars, was confirmed in 1919 during a solar eclipse observed by scientists led by astronomer Arthur Eddington. This confirmation gave Einstein instant worldwide fame. But beyond his scientific discoveries, Einstein's life was full of curious and even amusing moments. For example, he hated wearing socks. Yes, really. He found them annoying and preferred to wear shoes without them. Another fun fact is that he frequently played the violin and said music helped him think. Beethoven and Mozart were his favorites. Einstein was also known for his eccentric personality and sharp sense of humor. Once a reporter asked what he did when he had ideas. He replied, "I think and think for months and years. 99 times the conclusion is false, the 100th time I am right." That kind of persistent thinking was typical of him. Despite his image being associated with the academic world, Einstein was deeply involved in social and political issues. Being of Jewish descent, he strongly opposed Nazism and left Germany in 1933 when Adolf Hitler came to power. He settled in the United States, where he spent the rest of his life, teaching at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton. During World War II, although he was a committed pacifist, Einstein wrote a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, warning about the possibility that Germany might develop nuclear weapons, which influenced the start of the Manhattan Project. However, he did not participate directly in the project and later deeply regretted his indirect contribution to the development of the atomic bomb. Another lesser-known fact is that Einstein was invited to become the president of the State of Israel in 1952, a largely symbolic role. He politely declined, saying he did not have the necessary skills to deal with practical political matters. Albert Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955 at the age of 76 in Princeton. Interestingly, before being cremated, his brain was removed by a pathologist who hoped to discover the secret of Einstein's genius. His brain was studied for decades and passed through several hands, with researchers trying to find anatomical differences. To this day, there is no scientific consensus on whether there was anything exceptional about its structure. Today, Einstein's name is synonymous with intelligence, creativity, and intellectual boldness. He showed us that the universe is far more mysterious and fascinating than we imagined. But perhaps Einstein's most beautiful legacy is not only in the mathematical formulas or theories that changed physics, but in his way of thinking, in his insatiable curiosity and his belief that imagination is more important than knowledge. Einstein believed that the true value of a person lay in their ability to care for others, to question the world, and to dream of a better future. In his own words, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." And that's why, even decades after his death, Albert Einstein lives on, not just in physics textbooks, but in the hearts and minds of all those who dare to ask, what if?